It's a black and yellow derby on tap here tonight as New Mexico United hosting Charleston Battery here at the Lab in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined as always on the call tonight by Chris Hurst. To my right, we have our Spanish language broadcast team, Manny Esquivel and David Estrada. ¿Cómo estás, hermanos?
Thank you, Taylor. Gracias, Chris. El día de hoy, David, vamos a vivir un juego igual o más de emocionante que lo que vivimos el pasado miércoles. ¿Estarás de acuerdo conmigo que el día de hoy United necesita los 3 puntos sí o sí?
Sí, ocupamos los 3 puntos. Es el cuarto partido en una semana. Para mí es un honor siempre verlos. Gusto en estar aquí.
Now this one's going to be a lot of fun here tonight, Chris. New Mexico United coming off the heels of a 6-goal shootout in the midweek against Las Vegas Lights. Let's have a look at how that one played out. It got started early for New Mexico. Armando Moreno opening up the scoring.
Yeah, like you say, early start and great start for New Mexico United. Obviously hoping out of this 4-game homestand, an extra win against Las Vegas, bottom of the Western Conference. Goal by Moreno. We thought maybe he'd taken an extra couple of touches. Still manages to find the bottom of the net, and what a guy on fire he is right now. But it only lasted 2 minutes, and New Mexico United fell for the most dangerous time is right after you score. Lage rose well after a corner and heads it home. Nothing Ford Parker could do. Then it was all about Las Vegas. They just went from strength to strength. Bagley scores a great goal, bottom left-hand corner after a mazy run from the centre-back from Las Vegas. Followed up closely after by Rios, who scored on a counter-attack as well after Keelan Ryden had maybe tried to replicate what Las Vegas had done. But it was all about the reaction, and New Mexico United got one. And that started with Armando Moreno. Great little setup by Sergio Rivas. Chest and volley by Moreno. Again, he's on absolute fire right now. And then Will Seymour, stepping out from the back, cuts in, twinkle toes from the left-hand side, gets it on his right foot, bends it in the bottom corner, and New Mexico United, well, maybe looking for the win, really happy to get out of there with a tie after being down 3-1 at one point.
That was Will Seymour's second goal in black and yellow, his first of the season. Let's dive deeper into the matchup here tonight with our players to watch, presented by Toyota. Go ahead and take it away, gentlemen.
Así es, vamos a ver a este gran jugador de el ataque, te puede jugar en todas las posiciones al frente, lleva 3 goles esta temporada y pues el día de hoy va a arrancar con la meta bien puesta de poder también hacerle daño a un guardameta que llega nuevo al equipo.
Sí, hoy esta noche no está Tim Backus, no está Ford Parker, pero sí está Andrew Thomas. Viene igual de Tacoma, de MLS Next, una liga de jovencitos con mucha promesa y obviamente creo que le va a gustar este ambiente. Esperemos que pueda atajar unas buenas balones contra este equipo poderoso de Charleston.
Así es, se nos viene un gran partido a continuación.
It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. New Mexico United 2-0 against Charleston Battery in their brief history as they look to keep that perfect record intact. The 2023 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary. We'll be back on the other side of this with lineups and kickoff.
So much has changed in the 5 years since New Mexico United took the pitch for the first time in 2019. But since then, one constant has been the incredible support and financial guidance of REDW. Our partnership has grown stronger and closer together as the club continues to excite, inspire, and help connect the people of New Mexico. REDW will be with us every step of the way. Everything we do on the pitch and in the community is powered by the strategic thinking and expertise of the advisors at REDW. With an eye on longevity, shared values, and purpose, United and REDW will continue to team up and make meaningful contributions for all New Mexicans. Somos Unidos.
I landed my first trick at age 11. It's always been a family thing. Just the 3 of us, out skating the city. Albuquerque has heart. It lifted me up, all the way to my dream of skating in the Olympics.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Kickoff quickly approaching here at the Lab. Tonight's match brought to you by Rich Ford, your new and used car dealer for 62 years. These are our starting lineups presented by Bud Light. For Eric Quill, Chris, we see 5 changes from the side that took on Las Vegas Lights in the midweek. Of course, the new addition goalkeeper Andrew Thomas, Josh Suggs, William Seymour, Kyle Colonna, and Schneider Borgelin all getting starts here tonight. On the other side, for the other black and yellow, Ben Pierman making 2 changes to his side that beat Memphis 901 last weekend. Andrew Booth and Robbie Crawford getting the start here tonight. And Chris, this is a massive, massive match here for New Mexico United. The 4th out of 4 in a homestand. We've seen a little bit of everything so far.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, hasn't it? And you know the pressure really is on at this point. New Mexico United on the coattails, Colorado Switchbacks, Phoenix Rising, El Paso Locomotive. You know, those teams have dropped points recently. New Mexico United, you've got to say, haven't really managed to take advantage of that. Tonight, got to say, it's must win.
New Mexico in their home black and yellow kits. Charleston in the road whites. That is Emilio Icaza in the center circle. No stranger to playing here at the Lab is Icaza. And we are underway between these 2 black and yellow sides. Immediately starting things off, it's Dodson with the long ball. It looks like a back 4 here for Charleston, which really no surprise. You've got Archer and Palma, the center back pairing. As they're going to have their hands full here tonight trying to contain Amando Moreno coming off a brace in the midweek, Chris.
Yeah, and it's really been Moreno, the Moreno show. It's weird. Ever since Coach Eric Quill took over, Moreno's found a new lease of life and has really started producing. And he's been climbing the scoring charts as well. 2 goals the weekend, both very different strikes as well. But strikes of a forward in form right now.
Amando Moreno leading New Mexico United so far this season in goals scored. The recent El Salvadorian call-up, he's got 9 goals on the campaign, looking to be the first New Mexico United player to hit double digits here this season. So throw in here for Charleston. Battery players went to ground, no foul called. I believe that was Marikanik. That's our official, Alejo Calome, running the show in the center. So that is the first touch of the game for newly announced goalkeeper on loan from Seattle Sounders, Andrew Thomas, out of Moscow, Russia. Grew up mostly outside of London, spent some time in the Watford Youth Academy, moved to America to play his collegiate soccer at Stanford University. This is Will Seymour. A flair for the dramatic as Will Seymour have. He's got 2 goals in black and yellow. Those coming in the 90th and 89th minutes, respectively. Corona comes out to clear that one away. And he goes as far as Palma. Moreno able to retain possession here. Deal finds Kyle Colonna. Colonna, 2 goals scored this season. Most recently, a couple weeks ago out at Torero against San Diego Loyal in what was a homecoming for the former San Diego State Aztec. Spent 4 years out at SDSU. He was the program's captain in his final 2 seasons. Suggs battling it out over there. That is Eric Quill. This is our P&M Coaches Spotlights. Former MLS man Eric Quill is, you see an early shot on goal. No problem there for Trey Muse.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing Will Seymour. Coach Quill is using him in the midfield today alongside Justin Portillo, maybe trying to offer a little more protection. Mexico United, you've got to say, just leaking too many goals. 6th worst defense in the entire league this season, and always seem to find themselves chasing. We spoke on the broadcast on Wednesday about them getting the first goal finally against Las Vegas, but then giving up 3 unanswered. Just trying to shore things up, and you know the old saying about a lot of success or championships. Defense wins championships. I'm not sure New Mexico United are going to win a championship this year, but they're just trying to get their foot in the door of the playoffs, and that's going to start with shoring up that defense.
They've got quite the task at hand here tonight as Charleston Battery, they come in having captured the most points on the road this season in the USL Championship. As Ben Pierman, in his first season with Charleston Battery, the former Memphis 901 coach, the reigning USL Championship Coach of the Year. Not often is it, Chris, that you see somebody win Coach of the Year and then move on to another franchise. Thomas with the goal kick. It's going to go back to Trey Muse, the former San Diego Loyal man. Trey Muse, he's bounced around quite a bit here over the last few years. He was with Ben Pierman in Memphis last season. Season before that in 2021 was out at San Diego Loyal. Got a break in the action. That's going to give us time for this 5:29 game update due by the Education. Unable to track that one down. These are our Garcia Automotive Group keys to the game here for New Mexico. Get the first big chance, fight for 90 minutes, and close out the 4-match homestand strong. And speaking of the first 3 matches, I said we've seen a little bit of everything so far, Chris. Opened up with a loss to Oakland Roots, rebounded nicely. They beat Philip Goodrum and FC Tulsa, and then the draw. So we've seen a loss, a win, and a draw so far through these first 3.
Yeah, and everyone in New Mexico United was hoping that win against Tulsa was really going to spur them on, playing bottom of the league, the basement dwellers, Las Vegas Lights. But Las Vegas, I tell you what, you can see that just little things have gone against them this season where they've been so close in so many games. I think they've got 8 ties so far this season, and you could see that. They were very, very competitive in that game.
This is our Ben Sherman Law injury report. Injured at work, Ben Sherman can help. One new addition to the report, that is Alex Tambakis with the upper body injury, obviously, as we saw Ford Parker get the start against Las Vegas Lights. We see Andrew Thomas out here tonight. And Parker, he did concede 3 goals against Las Vegas Lights in the midweek, had 4 saves. And the goals he conceded, I don't know that really anybody was going to save those, Chris.
No, it is, and it's interesting. In the post-match as well, Coach Quill said that. Really didn't think he did anything wrong. So, it's a statement. Big shoes to fill for Thomas as well. Big chance for him as well on this stage, and it's an interesting one. I'm sure Paul Parker's disappointed as well. I'm a little disappointed myself, seeing a local guy in there, and like I say, pulled off some great saves. It could have been a lot worse. It really could. He pulled off some huge saves in the last game as well.
There's the captain, Archer. Charleston content to knock it around the back here. Charleston coming to this one 46 points under their belt. They are 3rd in the Eastern Conference as Thomas called into action here in the 8th minute.
Yeah, in Charleston, they've already played 9 games against Western opposition. Their first 2 games of the season were actually against Western opposition, against Phoenix and Sac Republic, tying both of those games. But so far in the 9 games, 3 wins, 4 losses, 2 ties. Little hope for New Mexico United there. Obviously, New Mexico United playing against the East. It's been 3 wins and 2 losses. Both home games, though, have been wins so far. The Tulsa win that you mentioned earlier, and a 1-0 against Detroit. So a little hope there for New Mexico United. in amongst those 4 losses for Charleston, there's a 7-0 loss to San Antonio as well, which I'm sure they want to forget about that. That was all the way back on May 13th, so they certainly haven't had it all their own way against the West.
In New Mexico, they too recently played against San Antonio, and they got just a little bit of a taste of what the defending champions can do. It was a 3-0 resounding victory here at the Lab for SAFC back on August 13th. Goes back to Archer, he's the captain. Markanik turns it over. Will Seymour playing in the center of the park. We've seen this from Will Seymour before, Chris. He can play, he's pretty versatile. He can play on the back line. He can play as a center back, a right back. A holding mid is where we're seeing him here tonight.
Yeah, and that was a little bit of the case last year as well. You know, he kind of bounced around a little bit, but then again, it looks like Coach Quill is matching up with Charleston Battery 4-2-3-1 as well, with Seymour and Portillo in there, with Nicky Hernandez just ahead of them, just behind Borgelin. So again, it's trying different things, trying to get something that works, not just offensively. I think New Mexico United have clearly started scoring some goals recently. Moreno we've talked about, but can they keep the back door closed as well? That's the question.
Here's Muse. Crawford. Back to Palma. Looking for Allen in the midfield. Falls to Ikaza. Ikaza, another journeyman here throughout the USL Championship. Spent 2020 in Reno, 2021 in Austin. Mid-season transfer in 2021. Joined RGV, where he spent the latter half of 21 and then all of last season. He found the back of the net 5 times for the Toros in 35 appearances last year. It's good enough for Ben Pierman to snatch him up here in Charleston.
It's an early test here for New Mexico United. First chance to see set pieces of Charleston Battery. One thing we noticed when we were down pitch side earlier on is probably got the size advantage. They've got some big guys on the squad today, so New Mexico United have to be switched on. They've got a man over at the back post as well, Charleston.
Thomas has to rise above the sea of outfield players. No problem there.
Yeah, that'll do him his confidence the world of good there. First one, you want it to be clean, and he came out through some bodies, through some traffic, like what you said, and claimed it well. We could hear him through the window. We could hear him, his voice, and making sure people knew he was coming. And I always laugh, you know, playing, if you heard a goalkeeper make a claim like that, you always kind of shrugged a little bit and like, is this going to hurt or not? So, yeah, really assured keeping there early on. Like I say, give a little confidence for the back line where I'm sure he only met them, 24, 48 hours ago.
Yeah, if that. The signing announced just yesterday. Palma goes over to Crawford. Over 10 minutes gone by in this one. It's time to let you know that Amore Neapolitan Pizzeria says thank you for 10 amazing years as New Mexico's first and only certified pizzerias. As Allen pops that one out. It's going to be a goal kick here for the 25-year-old Andrew Thomas. Kelowna looking to pick out the run of Harry Swartz. An interesting lineup selection here tonight, seeing Will Seymour in the midfield. Obviously, New Mexico missing Sergio Rivas. He is out tonight due to yellow card accumulation, so a suspension here for Rivas. And that's a big miss for the black and yellows. Rivas, he's their second leading scorer and their leading creator this year, Chris.
Yeah, and even when Sergio Rivas isn't necessarily having his best game, he's still so important. It's just his energy and his tenacity, and he's just like the typical New Mexican player, essentially, right? It's just all action all the time, and he's in people's faces, trying to ruffle feathers as well, and that will be a big miss. But You know, I like the idea of two more defense-minded centre mids. Like I say, you can see right now how compact New Mexico United are. On screen there, what, 6, 7, 8 guys all within, all, you know, front to back and side to side, just so compact, trying to force Charleston to give them the ball, which they did there, you know. So New Mexico United looked very disciplined earlier on. Look like maybe they're going to be a little more cagey and try and keep the score 0 at that end and see what they can do going the other way. But, you know, they're up against a tough team. Trey Mew's 9 clean sheets so far this season. You know, looking through their results over the year, obviously I'm no Charleston expert, but looking through the results, it seems like whenever they concede one, they tend to concede a second or a third as well. There's very few games that are 1-0. So yeah, so that'll be the thing for New Mexico, is if they can get one, can they go on and get a second one? But I say 9 clean sheets, it's not going to be an easy task for New Mexico United tonight.
Well, and when you look at the all-time history between these two clubs, we mentioned they've only played twice so far. 2 goals has been enough for New Mexico both occasions. The first time they met was here at the Lab back on July 12th, 2021. It was a 2-1 win for New Mexico. Kalen Wright and Devin Sandoval on the score sheet that day. Most recent meeting last May out at Patriots Point. It was a 2-0 victory for the black and yellow. Nico Brett, Chris Weehan on the score sheet that day. So all time in 2 matches, New Mexico outscoring the Battery 4-1.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, there's quite a bit of turnover, you know, in terms of rosters. You said Nico Brett, you know, obviously he's doing his thing now for Birmingham, who New Mexico United will face off against next week. What's the odds on an ex-player coming back to bite New Mexico United again? But yeah, you know, and just saying about, going back to the Rivas point as well, you know, losing Rivas, losing Tambakis. It's good to see Daniel Bruce on the bench today, but it does seem almost like, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back right now with New Mexico United with regards to that injury list. It has shrunk considerably, but still some very important players through injury or through suspension that are missing tonight.
Daniel Bruce, he's been out for the better part of a month now, Chris. Still sitting on 110 appearances for the black and yellow. He is the club's all-time appearance leader. One of 4 players to have been here since the founding of the club, joined by Austin Yearwood, Sam Hamilton, Josh Suggs. Moreno's cross dealt with there. Looking to pick out the run of Harry Swartz. That's going to lead us to our first Bank of America corner kick of the evening for New Mexico. With over 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. A couple of step overs there from Moreno. Almost lost control there of himself.
So we've talked about a few times though, getting to the end line and putting the ball in that corridor, and certainly in between the keeper and defenders, and you could see the defender was a bit, that could have really gone anywhere. I think he was pleased when he saw it go behind for a corner, and just a corner. It could really have flown anywhere, so that's what I would have loved to have seen a little more from New Mexico over the last couple of weeks, or the last few games at home here, where driving to that end line, they seem to go central a little too soon.
Portillo whips this one in. Swartz collides with Avila, and Harry Swartz is going to be booked. And Swartz in disbelief. Hard to blame him.
Yeah, for sure, especially so early on in the game. That's the referee set out his stall now, so every single time there's contact, see those are coming together. It's a free kick. And that's really all it is. Certainly don't think it was dangerous. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting night. If that's a yellow card, it's going to be a busy night.
A yellow card brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. So a 17th minute booking here for Harry Swartz. And that's going to be big. He's going to have to monitor the way he's playing for the next 70-plus minutes. Over the opening 15 minutes, Charleston with over 65% possession so far, and not really a good chance for either side.
No, it really hasn't. It's been a bit of a chess match, middle third of the field. But again, going back to what we said about New Mexico United, it does seem like they're willing tonight to maybe sit off and allow Charleston to have a little more of the ball and try and pick them off on the counter.
Throw in here for the Battery. Going down was Traeger, no foul. Back to Palma. Sebastian Palma, the Colombian, 24 years old. This is his first season playing in America. Near side, Dodson. It's going to be a throw in here for Charleston. Derek Dodson, the 24-year-old. He too came over from Memphis 901 after last season as Zico Bailey clears this one out from in front of Thomas.
Yeah, Zico Bailey had to be very careful there. It was a dangerous ball in. New Mexico United just caught a little bit and managed to spring in behind, and yeah, I think it was Crawford just sneaking around the back post. Thomas around the back post there, and Zico Bailey did well to clear the danger. You want to see Zico Bailey go in the other direction if you're New Mexico United. His pace and power, and him linking up with Schwartz, but so far he's been kept back there, just because how much possession Charleston have had.
This is the Scotsman, Robbie Crawford, back to send this corner in. Robbie Crawford spent 4 seasons playing for Rangers. Spent the previous 4 seasons with Charleston Battery, had a spell at Monterey Bay last season. Magic minute here at the Lab. Borgelin wins the header over Allen, and Borgelin called for the foul.
That's another interesting one. Borgelin is just such a big guy, and he jumped early, which has made it impossible for Crawford to even try and challenge with him. As a centre forward, that's what you asked them to do, especially when they're built the way that Borgelin is. That was a great win. Problem would be if you're New Mexico United, there was no runners off him either.
Through ball, and a big-time save from Thomas. His first big save for New Mexico United. That was a dangerous ball in, looking for Markanek on the backside.
Yeah, and Thomas, you could see how quick off his line he was as well, and just smothered any kind of angle for the forward there. Really well done.
Here's Portillo. New Mexico looks to get forward. Las Cruces, New Mexico native Josh Suggs plays a cross in. And it's going to be a throw in here for Charleston. Portillo trying to have a word here with the official, the center ref.
I know Portillo doesn't have the same angle we do, but it was definitely a throw-in for Charleston Battery. I can understand why he thought maybe it was the other direction, and he's just asking the question. It's funny when this happens in the soccer world, you tend to get the next decision. So it'll be real interesting.
Throw in here from Crawford. Ikaza goes down, and the foul called against Seymour. So a Fiesta Auto free kick coming up here for the visitors. Get another look on this TLC replay. TLC Plumbing is the leader in New Mexico when it comes to plumbing, heating, and cooling home and business service needs. Sebastian Palma. Handball decision. You saw that from all the way up here, Chris.
It was just that delay though as well. You were like, is he going to call it? No.
New Mexico trying to play quickly there, but the official says, not so fast, my friend. Set. Certain handball there on Booth. Andrew Booth, the 26-year-old Jamaican, in his second season with the Battery. This one goes to Kalen Ryden. He gets a touch on it, unable to redirect that on frame. There's a couple of Battery players down in the box as well.
Yeah, that was a really interesting one because that was a difficult angle. It was pretty straight on from Justin Portillo, and he put so much pace on it as well. So Caelan Wrighton did really well to get anything on that. And he actually got a really, really good connection on it, probably too good. See, he was maybe trying to just get it back across goal, which is really hard because he was stretching all the time. And yeah, as you said, it was Colonna maybe took down a couple of the Charleston players on his way through as well, but more incidental than anything else.
Bailey gives chase to this one. Holds off Traeger, and Traeger gets possession. Booth unable to handle that one atop the 18. New Mexico now looking to counter. Overlapping run from Hernandez. Suggs was asking for it, and Hernandez did well to get it to Moreno, who wins the free kick.
Suggs was like something was on fire there. He was absolutely sprinting like as fast as I've ever seen him move. And it was just a little too quick where Moreno on the ball there just didn't quite have the. He saw him, he just couldn't quite work the angle to try and put him into the space behind. I don't think anyone from Charleston Battery was tracking the run either.
Colonna gives this ball away. Koenig looking to play it forward for Traeger. There's Traeger, and that cross cut out by Colonna. Still work to do. Booth now. He's run off the ball by Zico Bailey. Bailey now hit the brakes and no foul called. "25 minutes gone by here. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand at the lab. We've got a second. Let's tell you about Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. One goes all the way back here to Archer, the Trinidad and Tobago international. Leland Archer, 4 caps for Trinidad and Tobago. Archer has spent every season of his professional career here with the Charleston Battery. 120 appearances for the black and yellow. Scored 3 goals, career that began back in 2018. You just talk about that consistency in the back line. Now, New Mexico obviously haven't been around since 2018, but somewhat similar with the role that Caelan Wrighton plays for this club.
Yeah, and obviously, he didn't play the first year, came to us from Real Monarchs right after winning the championship, right? And yeah, it was obviously very highly thought of at the time, specifically by Coach Troy Lassane at that time, and nicknamed the Golden Helmet. And he's got the captain's armband for a reason tonight, but it's him, Josh Suggs, another original in the back line there as well. So there's a few still, like obviously Daniel Bruce on the sideline, Sam Hamilton, all the originals as well. But that consistency can go both ways as well, right? It's trying to have that consistency and have people who understand and get the club right, and then you want to sprinkle in some more quality so that you can keep progressing the club throughout the years as well.
Shot struck wide by Andrew Booth. Another look on this TLC replay here. You saw the space just open up for him there atop the 18.
Yeah, he thought, why not? And you could see the reaction of Thomas as well. He wasn't 100% sure. He pulled his arms back at the last minute when he realised it was going wide, but there was a moment there where he was worried.
Hernandez heads this on. Swartz unable to get to that as Palma with a good defensive effort. Colonna wins the header, finds Hernandez. Hernandez just hesitated a fraction of a second. Icaza now wanting the handball caller. New Mexico not going to get it. Here's Booth surveying his options, looking for Dodson. Headed down to Markanek. Still Markanek. Takes a deflection. And luckily for Thomas, off target.
Yes, Charleston Battery have certainly looked the most likely to take any kind of lead in this game. Still, New Mexico United, you've got to say, they've probably kept Charleston at arm's length right now. There's that one big save by Thomas where he had to rush off his line. Other than that, they've managed to keep them at arm's length, but they're certainly probing and asking all the questions right now.
Bank of America corner kick coming up here. Crawford over to deliver. Scotsman sends it back post, headed away by Kyle Colonna. It's going to be another Bank of America corner kick. Crawford will make his way across the pitch. It looks like he and Dodson be the two over at the corner here for this one. Dodson officially placing it. Excuse me, that's Markanek. Headed away by New Mexico, falls to Icaza. His shot attempt blocked.
Really well done by Colonna there. I think he won the first, got first contact, first big win inside the 18-yard box, and chased down his own almost a rebound basically and blocked the shot as well.
Derek Dodson here to throw in. Suggs here with the throw in. 30 minutes gone by here at the lab. Scoreless so far in this black and yellow derby between New Mexico United and Charleston Battery. Kaza unable to corral that one. Portillo links up with Moreno. He's got options now. Elected for Bailey. Bailey with work to do to retain possession, and he does well.
See New Mexico United, they're really struggling in this area here, just trying to break that midfield three. That midfield three, Icaza, Traeger, Markanek, where once they get beyond there, they're starting to have a little bit of joy. In front of the back four, Crawford, Palmer, Archer, Dodson, once they get at that line, at that back four, they're starting to have a little bit of joy, but maybe a little bit too much side to side, playing in front of Charleston Battery a little too often. Can they break a line a little earlier and try and find that space there? Nicky Hernandez, can he get a little closer to Borgelin? He's looking a little isolated right now.
Schneider Borgelin making his 4th start for New Mexico United, 5th appearance since being announced on loan from Inter Miami. This Charleston Battery side faced Inter Miami earlier this season, that in the US Open Cup. Of course, prior to the arrival of one Lionel Messi. That match taking place on May 9th at Inter Miami. It was a 1-0 win for the hosts. Saw Battery bow out of the Open Cup. Here's Bailey. Finds Seymour. A bit of unfamiliar territory for Will Seymour so high up the pitch. Or not, having scored in the 89th minute last match.
What a finish that was as well. When he just cut inside, you just saw it open up for him as well. And like, is he the man for the job? And what he answered, yes, he certainly was. What an absolute, keeper could do absolutely nothing. And at that point, you were asking New Mexico United, they still have 5-6 minutes, I believe it was, and could they go on and win it? And that third goal actually sparked Las Vegas, and Las Vegas probably had the last 2 chances of the game.
You know, that was something that Eric Quill had touched on in the post-game presser. He said he felt as though if there were 5 more minutes, his squad would have gone on to win that match 4-3. Allen. The holding midfielder, he's dropped back into the back line. As Thomas watches this one go out for a goal kick.
I think everyone's just waiting for something. The crowd, you can hear it's a little subdued right now. Players, they're just waiting for a spark from someone. This is when you want someone like Zico Bailey on the ball right now, or Armando Moreno to do something special just to get the crowd on their feet.
Well, it's been a week since Zico Bailey made his first start for the club, and he picked up his first assist that night as well, assisting Harry Swartz just 90 seconds into the match. Suggs. Moreno now on the near side, looking for Suggs. Cross, just mishit there from Josh Suggs. Great tackle from Swartz to win the ball back. Portillo finds Hernandez. Hernandez looking for Borgelin. Collision in the box. Trey Muse goes down, and the foul called against New Mexico.
Trey Muse, he had to be brave there. He knew he was going to get clattered there, and it was completely incidental. Again, both players eyes on the ball, but you just see the little hesitation, and Borgelin just stretched there and just couldn't stop himself. No intent there whatsoever. The referee's still having a word with him. So I say, I think that was just a bang play, you know. It was just kind of, the ball was there to be won. He went to win it. Really well done by the goalkeeper though. I say, had to be brave, cleared the danger. Decent from New Mexico United though, got the ball into a wide area again. It's those wide areas, you feel like that's where they're going to get some joy.
Trey Muse looks to be okay. 24-year-old American. Celebrated his birthday just over a month ago at the end of July. Closing in on 100 professional appearances. Seymour held. Seymour goes down, and now we're going to see a free kick coming up here, and a yellow card shown to Traeger. 36-minute yellow card.
Sorry, credit where credit's due there. The referee tried to allow play on. Seymour was clearly impeded, and impeded in a way where he was trying to slow the game down, so definite yellow card there, you've got to say, but credit to the referee. Tried to let the game go and tried to see if there was an advantage, then brought it back and handed out the yellow card. So, like I say, I've been questioning some calls, but credit where credit's due.
That yellow card brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. Second booking here in the opening 45 here, as Traeger joins Harry Swartz in the officials book. Tristan Traeger, 24 years old, spent last season with Atlanta United 2, scored 8 goals in 22 appearances. Here's Moreno. He's been in blistering form lately. Suggs, cross goes in, looking for Borgelin. It was headed away there by Palma. Bank of America corner kick coming up for the black and yellow.
Borgelin just causes issues. He's such a big target in there. The centre back was at Archer, who had to win it. Had to win it there. Just purely by the presence. I don't think Borgelin was actually going to get anywhere near it, but just his presence forced him into a decision, and New Mexico United win a corner off that.
Portillo here to deliver. 41 chances created for the New Orleans native, Justin Portillo. Scored twice this season. Portillo whips this one in. Suggs. Looking to the near side, no options materializing, and that looking for Armando Moreno.
Talked a little bit about New Mexico United and what I think they could maybe, where they could get a Charleston Battery, you know, in those wide areas. But Charleston Battery, you can see anytime they can and they get the head up with no pressure on the ball, they're looking to release Avila in behind. And honestly, New Mexico United, a really high line, lots of space. There we go again, looking for that space in behind and getting New Mexico United faced and turned their own goal. And that's when New Mexico United are scrambling a little bit.
Here's Markanik. Has that one poked away by Moreno. And New Mexico give it right back. Avila looking to connect with Crawford. He does. Crawford cross, looking back post, and he overhits everyone. Bobby Crawford, the Scotsman, spent his youth career at Rangers in Scotland. Kelowna looking to connect with Seymour instead. This one falls to Markanek. Thomas able to come out and grab that one. Some bad giveaways in their own half so far for New Mexico.
I think both teams, it's been a very clunky first half, I'd say. You know, Thomas has been really sure, handling in and around. He commands his 18-yard box really well, whether he has to punch or catch. But both teams, it's been like the story of the first half where you just said Battery just overhit a pass and Suggs overhit a pass right before that. That went out for a goal kick. So it's been a really disjointed first half, really.
There's Leland Archer in his 6th season with the club. Crawford. Back to Palma. Right in there for the long ball. Balls to Borgelin. He's got Moreno making a streaking run. And unfortunately for Borgelin, not able to get the contact that he wanted on that pass.
And that's been a story of the first half as well. Really struggled to get Armando Moreno in the game, and he's in such a rich vein of form right now. It's almost like he's wasted out there. You want to say he's not getting the ball on the left wing, so for New Mexico United, can he come inside looking for it, maybe switch with Nicky Hernandez for a few moments here and see if he gets a little more of the ball in those central areas, because right now he's doing doggies, he's doing shuttle runs up and down the field without really touching the ball, without really impacting the game.
Dodson sends this one away. Booth was looking for Allen on the through ball there. Moreno, 11 goal involvements on the young season for New Mexico. Not the young season, on the season, excuse me. 9 goals, 2 assists. He's been the most involved for New Mexico, followed by Sergio Rivas, who has 10 goal involvements, 6 goals, 4 assists. You mentioned Rivas out tonight. He's suspended due to yellow card accumulation. Top 2 creators for this New Mexico side. Not just that, Chris, but you look at Charleston Battery. They too are missing their leading scorer tonight. Augustine Williams on the bench for Ben Pierman. Williams with 10 goals. He's the only Battery player in double digits, 25 appearances.
Yeah, Williams tied for 7th in the whole USL Championship with his 10 goals. Armando Moreno on 9. He's tied 14th in the league. Just 1 goal difference, 14. So, but, you know, Armando Moreno, like, again, saying it and repeating myself, rich vein of form. New Mexico United have to find a way to get him involved in the game, in the opposition half. But both teams have players that can come off the bench and can change the game.
Markanek looking to connect with Traeger. And that one just goes wide from Charleston. Almost opening the scoring there.
Second big chance for Charleston Battery. You could see how fast Thomas came off his line again, closed the angle, made him take the shot, made Traeger take the shot a little earlier than he wanted to, but you were just waiting for the net to bulge. You thought he'd done enough to just go around the goal, but great run from out to in. Just takes that touch just to get around the tackle, the despairing tackle from Zico Bailey there. He knew there was trouble. But again, like I say, Thomas, he closed the angle really well, really early, and made the target really small for him.
Traeger, 2 goals on the season so far in 20 appearances.
I'd say the biggest 2 chances of the first half have definitely fell Battery's way.
Here comes Suggs, New Mexico, looking for an answer here late in the first half. Moreno. If you're looking for something to happen, this is the guy you want with the ball at his feet. Moreno just runs out of real estate there. Hernandez from Portillo. Nicky Hernandez, former San Antonio man. 2 goals, 6 assists for SAFC last season, their title-winning year. Moreno able to link up with Portillo, who unleashes one right into the waiting hands of Trey Muse.
That was better though. It was intricate from New Mexico United. You could see they were trying to control the tempo of the game, move the ball nice and quickly, and Moreno at the centre of it as well, involved a few different times, and it was himself and Nicky Hernandez and Portillo create a little triangle, work the ball around, and the opportunity presented itself for Portillo. Just didn't quite get the connection, didn't get any movement on the ball, so pretty comfortable for Muse.
Charleston last season didn't have their best season as a club. 6 wins, 21 losses, and 7 draws. They finished on 25 points. That was 12th in the Eastern Conference. They missed the playoffs last year. Safe to say that's not going to be happening this year with Ben Pierman at the helm.
No, for sure. They've had a really good bounce back here, you would say, and I'm assuming that's why they made the change, right? To get that change at the top and steer the ship in a different direction. And they look like a shoe-in now at this point. It's certainly not as wacky. The East is what it is the West, right? There's not only on New Mexico United in the hunt, but they're also looking over their shoulders at the guys below them, chasing them as well. So it could be any one of 6 teams, 5 teams that maybe take the last 2 playoff spots.
Into stoppage time we go. 1 minute of New Mexico Piñon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. Scotsman Robbie Crawford, Bank of America corner kick. And you touched on the upcoming away trip for New Mexico, Chris, next weekend. It's the black and yellow hitting the road to Birmingham. They'll be taking on a couple of their former teammates, Nico Brett, Preston Tabordataka. For Charleston, they return back to Patriots Point, and they'll be hosting San Diego Loyal next Saturday. Going to be a goal kick here for New Mexico.
There was a moment there, you could see all the Charleston players were retreating to defend a goal kick. All the New Mexico United players were coming out for a goal kick. The referee was pointing at the corner and he finally corrected his mistake there, but there was some puzzled looks thrown his direction, that's it.
Fans, don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+, home to the USL, La Liga, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. End of the first half here in Albuquerque. We are scoreless through the first 45. Chris, give us your take on the opening half.
It was a half that was lacking in quality, especially in the final third. So I think that'll be a focus of both groups at halftime, trying to find that killer pass to try and get some quality in the final third.
And as Eric Quill chatting with his first assistant, Mac Hemme, as they're trying to figure out what can we do to get 3 points here. Halftime here at the Lab. Your score 0-0 between New Mexico United and Charleston Battery, presented by First Financial Credit Union. We'll step aside. We'll be back.
Since 1966, BIOS has provided quality appliances, electronics, and mattresses to Albuquerque and New Mexico.
And from day one, we've done everything as a team. Our commitment to our team, our community, and innovation has allowed us to serve Albuquerque and our surrounding areas for more than 50 years. We are proud to partner with New Mexico United.
Because both of us believe in the values of loyalty, service, and togetherness.
Our longevity and growth is because we are united.
Somos unidos.
Flamenco is a language. Every step a verse, every movement a phrase. Born in Spain and expressed here in New Mexico.
Dime que sí, dime que no, anda dime primita de mi corazón.
The 2023 summer concert season is here at Sandia Resort and Casino. Join us this summer at Albuquerque's best concert venue for a season to remember. June 23rd, Ludacris. July 20th, Old Dominion. July 28th, Buddy Guy and Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Tickets available now at sandiacasino.com or the box office. The 2023 summer concert season at Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary.
Part desert, part mountain, part river. Albuquerque offers outdoor exhilaration you can't find anywhere else. Spend the perfect day hiking, biking, or even hot air ballooning, all within minutes of a vibrant city. Whether you're exploring hundreds of miles of trails or hundreds of years of history, Albuquerque will take your breath away. Start planning your Albuquerque adventure at visitabq.org.
Back here at the Lab, New Mexico United and Charleston Battery scoreless through the first 45. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. It is halftime, brought to you by Smith's, fresh for everyone. And we've got plenty to get into here for this halftime break, so let's just jump right into it, Chris. And we've been talking about the standings here through the first 45. Let's have a look at how things were shaped out coming into this one. New Mexico just below the playoff line, behind El Paso Locomotive, Switchbacks, Phoenix Rising, all within striking distance for the black and yellow, but they need a result here tonight.
Yeah, but you could say anyone from Phoenix Rising down to Monterey Bay on that screen right there, any one of those could end up in the 6 to 8, so no one's safe above that line right now. And New Mexico United, while they're trying to chase down, they need to start putting a run together.
So we move on to our news and notes here from around the league. USL and the Players Association celebrating Labor Day this weekend, recognizing the sacrifices and contributions of all workers past and present. The Somos Unidos Foundation, the nonprofit arm of New Mexico United, announcing their second annual gala, The Ball, to be held at Sandia Resort and Casino on October 27th. That's a Friday night. Make sure to grab your tickets while they're still available. TheBallNM.com. Help support the Somos Unidos Foundation and in turn help support the New Mexico United Academy. Orange County transferring Ocean Dina out to Feyenoord out in Turkey. Big stuff coming out of Orange County, Chris.
Orange County won 7 in a row, I believe it is, and yeah, and we're seeing more and more of the players from the USL Championship moving to Europe, which is huge for the league.
Schedule for this weekend, the midweek and next, you see RGV and Phoenix doing battle a little bit later here tonight. Tomorrow, San Diego Loyal taking on Birmingham Legion out at Torero. Also tomorrow, Tulsa taking on defending champs San Antonio. Then in the midweek, Switchbacks will take on San Antonio, followed by Orange County hosting Locomotive. And then as we mentioned, we're back here, Chris, in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, 13 days. It's a Friday night lights here at the Lab. New Mexico United hosting Indy 11 as Indy makes their first trip out to the 505. The scores from around the league here, New Mexico and Lights. We mentioned the 6-goal shootout that those two had. The exact opposite of what played out between San Antonio and RGV. Those two playing 90 scoreless minutes. Phoenix Rising able to get a result over Sac Republic, and Detroit City, Le Rouge, putting 3 past Birmingham Legion. The upcoming schedule for New Mexico, it does not get easier at all here, Chris. We mentioned the trip out to Birmingham, then back here against Indy. Then they're going to be taking on Sac Republic, making the trip out to Pittsburgh. This one's going to be brutal. You've got a Saturday, Wednesday in Sacramento. Then you've got to travel to play in Pittsburgh. A week later, you're at home at the Lab to take on Louisville City. Upcoming schedule here for Charleston Battery. We told you they're back at Patriots Point next weekend, hosting the Loyal. Then traveling out up to Loudon, where they return home to take on FC Tulsa. Ben Pierman taking on his former striker, Philip Goodrum. And you'll see them travel out to Southwest University Park to take on the Locos. And then closing things out on the 7th against the Miami FC. A look at our Week 25 USL Championship Team of the Week. You see a few familiar faces in there, as Barbier getting the nod from Oakland Roots, Charlie Dennis from Tampa Bay Rowdies, and your eFootball Player of the Week, former New Mexico United striker Nico Brett. Halftime here at the Lab, New Mexico, Charleston scoreless in the third black and yellow derby here. We'll step aside. We'll be back after this.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Halftime here at the Lab. Your score, New Mexico United 0, Charleston Battery 0. Halftime score presented by First Financial Credit Union. And Chris, this is also one of my favorite days of the season. Before tonight's match, we had a naturalization ceremony on the pitch where 51 people from 17 different countries were naturalized into their U.S. citizenships. And what a special moment.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's really cool that they do it before the game as well. You know, obviously so many fans watching as well, and seeing how it's done. This is now the second time I've seen it, and something I'll potentially be going through in the next 12 months as well, you know, so it's really interesting and really cool to see.
Well, let's make sure you put that off until we do this again next year so we can have you down on the pitch prior to kickoff. And let's roll right into our halftime highlights, brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. We're here for you. We're here to win. No goals in the first half, Chris, but this one not short on action.
Yeah, it's been an interesting first half, I'd say, and it's really Charleston Battery have had the two best chances. There's one there. Thomas really quick off his line, a great through ball. You see there was maybe just a little tug that we didn't catch during the broadcast as well and during the run of play. And there's been some half chances for New Mexico United. That was a really central free kick by Justin Portillo. Kalen Ryden does everything possible to try and get the ball back into play, but full stretch, that's all he could really do there. But yeah, that's been the tail of the tape. That's a shot from distance, which was really not a whole lot. There was one other chance that I'm sure we'll see from Charleston Battery where they were just shown wide as well. But like I say, the real chances few and far between, especially for New Mexico United. It's been this where, you know, a free kick from Hughes where he had to be really brave there, and he was really brave and did everything he had to there. And Borgelin, all eyes on the ball, and just couldn't make anything happen. And that's really been it for the first half. It has been a little bit of a midfield battle, a midfield duel where neither team's carved out any.
The lion's share of the possession at 62%.
Yeah, and that's something that doesn't happen a lot here, especially at home for New Mexico United. They're normally the one who dominate the ball, but I said very early on in the broadcast it did look like New Mexico United were potentially looking to sit off a little more today and keep things tight at the back, and they've certainly done that. That certainly worked, but how do they do that while creating chances going the other way as well?
Second half coming up in just a moment. You're watching New Mexico United and Charleston Battery on ESPN+.
National Roofing, serving New Mexico for over 45 years. From complete re-roofs to our 24/7 service department, let us help protect and extend the life of your roof today. We work with you every step of the way to solve your roofing needs quickly and professionally. Our team of roofers are always on top of it, bringing high-quality commercial roofing to New Mexico homeowners. National Roofing, local company, national name. Call 505-883-3000 or go to nationalroofing.com to schedule a roof walk today.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
The C&M beverage program is split into actually 4 disciplines: beer production, wine production, distilled spirits production, and beverage management. This program is for anyone that has a passion for the beverage industry. We are running a 100% employment rate, and the goal is to prepare all of our students to enter into the workforce in their chosen field in the beverage production industry. If you're a fan of spirits, beer, wine, this is for you. So enroll now.
Back here at the lab, second 45 coming up here momentarily between New Mexico United and Charleston Battery. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. And Chris, what's got to change for New Mexico to get a result here tonight?
Got to get Armando Moreno involved in the game. That really is. He's been that important over the last month, 6 weeks, and that's something that they really struggled to do in the first half. We talked about it during the first half as well, and if that means he has to drift into other positions, so be it. And he really needs to get on the ball more.
Charleston, they come into this one having claimed the most points on the road in the USL Championship this season, currently on pace to take home 1. What do they got to do to take home 3?
Honestly, I think it is that space in behind. They look really, really dangerous, and they look like they've got the legs on the New Mexico United back line as well. If they're able to spring, you saw one of the chances in the first half where Thomas came out and smothered it really well. There was one other one where it was a run from out to in from Traeger, and it looks like that might be the way that they're able to unlock New Mexico United, who are playing a little more off and playing a little deeper tonight. But they have managed to get in behind the 2 centre-backs on a couple of occasions.
Charleston Battery, they were on the front foot to close out the first half. They attempted the last 5 shots in that half. The most recent shot from New Mexico coming by Kalen Ryden in the 23rd minute.
I assume that's the shot that we showed in the highlights where it was, I don't know whether he was going for goal there or whether he was just trying to put the ball back in a dangerous area, but it was from a set piece.
Second half underway here at the lab. Crowd of almost 10,000 expected here tonight, as New Mexico looking to close out this 4-game homestand. Here's Borgelin, and just hits it.
Took a deflection on the way through, and it was nice positive action. You don't normally see Borgelin. Normally when he has the ball at his feet, he drops it off to someone else, but he felt confident enough to take on his man and try and create something from nothing, and he's managed to get his team a corner from it.
Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico United. This is Justin Portillo back to deliver. First corner kick of the second half here. Goes back post. It's headed away by Charleston. Fiesta free kick coming up here for the visitors. Wasted free kick at that. Here's Portillo. Heads this one up to Hernandez. Looking to poke it forward for Moreno. Moreno called for the fouls. He runs over Dodson.
Yeah, it was just a little clumsy there. Moreno was running from out to in again, similar to the run that we saw from Traeger for Battery in the first half. And when the ball was played outside him, he just couldn't quite get around. I think it was Dodson there, and a little clumsy, but yeah, it was a foul. But you see New Mexico United, I tell you what, Nicky Hernandez, that's another one. That's another key in the setting off when he's on his game. Zico Bailey, very quiet tonight. The last few games, he's been absolutely electric for New Mexico United since joining. Tonight, been a little under par.
Zico Bailey through that first half, just 23 touches. As you look around, it's mainly Colonna, Suggs, and Portillo that have had the ball at their feet the most.
That was a really good opportunity there. New Mexico United got the press right, and it was just the final bit. You can see Swartz is really struggling to get back. It looks like he got a little knock on his ankle there, but New Mexico United, Battery wanted to play, and they got the cues right and managed to pin them in and won the ball, but it just didn't quite work. But that's something to build on for the second half as well, and something for Charleston to be wary of as well.
This one finds Booth in the midfield. Swartz goes down, wins the foul call. Fiesta free kick coming up here for New Mexico. Harry Swartz making his 68th USL Championship appearance for New Mexico United here tonight. 4 goals on his campaign. Scored 10 goals since joining the club in 2021. Zico Bailey. Kalen Ryden making his 101st USL Championship appearance here for New Mexico. This is Hernandez. Weighing out his options in the box, it ultimately decides for Bailey. Finds Portillo back to Hernandez, and that one taken away, and the foul conceded by Nicky Hernandez.
You can see New Mexico United was a little better in possession there. They kept the ball across the back 4 with Ryden, Portillo, Colonna, just trying to draw Charleston Battery out of their shape, and they finally did, and they found Harry Swartz out there on the right-hand side, wide open. And first touch was negative, and then we lose any kind of impetus from the attack there. And same with Hernandez. Could have put a low-driven ball into that corridor between the defenders and the goalkeeper, but decided to go negative instead. And that's been a little bit of the tail of the tape in the final third for New Mexico.
And just looking at some of the stats here, New Mexico 0.17 XG through the first 50 minutes, Chris.
Yeah, and there's that ball that they've got to be wary of. You see Charleston again just trying to drop that ball in behind the 2 centre-backs in New Mexico United, and Thomas playing way off his line, and has to as well, almost playing like sweeper keeper and doing a really good job of it right now. But Charleston, that's definitely their plan.
Here's Moreno. Looking for his 10th goal of the season, Armando Moreno. Seymour says, why not? That shot attempt blocked by Booth. Falls to Suggs. The former captain, Josh Suggs, trying to get down to the end line, and Suggs does well to win a corner kick.
Yeah, sometimes just being direct, going from A to B works. There, Suggs didn't try and hide what he was doing. And right back, Dodson knew he wanted to be on his left foot, but couldn't really stop, and ended up having to stretch to deny the cross, and gives away a corner. And set pieces, you feel, are going to be very, very important tonight, with the lack of chances from open play being created.
There's Justin Portillo standing over this one. Portillo going back post, and Hernandez unable to settle that one. New Mexico at home this season, 6 wins, 4 losses, 3 draws. Tally that up, they've taken home 21 out of a possible 39 points here. They're on pace to do better than their home record last season. Last year they were 6-6-5 at home. They only captured 24 out of a possible 51. And that was something Eric Quill talked about when he took over, was making the lab a fortress.
It is, and it's been too easy for teams to come in here and you know, get a goal lead somewhere and then just get the crowd agitated, and then that frustration just bubbles onto the pitch. And that's been less and less the case this year. And a lot of that has been, you know, with the attacking, the exciting soccer that the fans saw as soon as Coach Quill took over. Like that's the kind of stuff that New Mexico United fans really want to see.
And unfortunately, they've been scoring a lot of goals. They've also been conceding a lot of goals. It's Josh Suggs. Suggs' 108th USL Championship appearance here for the Black and Yellow. We mentioned earlier, one of 4 players that have been here since day 1. Ryden will play this one back to Thomas. Andrew Thomas, the former Tacoma Defiance man. 15 MLS Next Pro appearances for Tacoma Defiance. 3 clean sheets. 1.27 goals against average this season. Here's Palma. Previously spent time in Colombia out at Once Caldas since 2018. The past 5 seasons there. Mentioned earlier, this is his first season in America. Kalen Ryden. 3 goals since joining the club in 2020. All 3 of them scored with his head. Scored against Charleston here at the Lab last time the Black and Yellow Derby was here. That was July 12th, 2021. Opened the scoring in the 15th minute. Through ball looking for Moreno, and that one poked away by Dodson. Free kick coming up here for Charleston.
You see, anytime New Mexico United managed to get a little bit of space there, that time it was Josh Suggs, found himself in a little bit of space. Just the movement ahead of the ball is just not quite snappy enough, I'd say. And it takes so long to develop. It's just too easy for Charleston Battery just to stay in their shape or recover. So then it becomes so much harder. So then those passes there, he tries to find Moreno, and the gaps and the gates, if you will, that he's trying to pass the ball through are just so much smaller than if the movement was just a little quicker and a little earlier.
And you just look at the run of games here for New Mexico recently, as we touched on, their 4th match here, Chris, since last Wednesday.
Yeah, it's been a brutal schedule. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of sitting next to you. So I'm sure it's been quite the stretch. You know, I'm looking forward to sitting on my couch and watching a game on my couch next week. But I'm sure that's been. I mean, you can't underestimate at least those 4 games, even though they're so close together, being in their own bed, their own routine, being at home, like that's a huge advantage. You know, if these games was this close together and there was travel involved, it would have made it so much harder. But regardless, you can see the changes. 5 changes tonight from Coach Grill. Last week against Tulsa, I think it was 4 changes. Those are 2 the most the entire season for New Mexico United. And you know, part of that is trying to find a formula that works, and the other part is just rotation.
Kalen Ryden sees yellow. He knew exactly what he was doing with that one. 58th minute yellow card to Kalen Ryden, brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. He's the second United player in the referee's book. Harry Swartz the first, back in the 17th minute. New Mexico already over their season average of fouls committed in a match. They came into this one averaging about 12.5 fouls committed per match. Already up to 14 here through the first 58 minutes.
Yeah, and like you say, Kalen Wright knew exactly what he was doing there. He got turned, got a little too tight, got turned, and was forced. You know, it was a smart move, a veteran move. He knew he had to give away the foul.
Suggs able to get a foot onto that one as Thomas comes out to gather. Looking to go quickly, and a long throw from Thomas. Finds Moreno. Moreno with Allen, finds Borgelin now. Overlapping run from Swartz. And Harry Swartz sees that one out. It's going to be a Bank of America corner kick.
And that all starts with the quick thinking of Thomas there. Really, really good. Threw the ball a full 50 yards. Well, he might have a future in the NFL if he wants to, but start from there. Moreno in full flight. Finds Borgelin. Borgelin 2v1 with Swartz on that right-hand side. Slips him in, and good defending in the end by Crawford. Gives away the corner, but denies the chance.
Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. Almost 60 minutes gone by here at the lab. New Mexico looking to keep their perfect record against Charleston Battery intact here tonight. Portillo gives the signal. Portillo does not beat the first man. It falls to Suggs. Back to Portillo. There's Ryden, heads it down. And that one just skipped by Moreno. Fans, we are united in health. Join New Mexico United in our efforts to create a healthier and more vibrant New Mexico at unitedinhealthnm.com. Offside flag is up against the El Salvadorian Amando Moreno. So it sounds like, or it looks like, we're actually going to be seeing a couple of substitutions coming in here momentarily for New Mexico. Hearing that Greg Hurst and Agobo Reyes will be entering. So Bailey battling with Traeger. Suggs has to clear that out. Palma able to get a foot in there. Swartz has run out. Falls to Suggs. Here's Hernandez. Might be one of the outgoing subs, Nicky Hernandez. Borgelin wins the header but sends it wide as Borgelin climbed the ladder over Palma there.
You see how hard he is to defend because he gets up so early and like hangs in the air, and you know, you're taught as a kid, at least I was, if you jump early, that's how you win headers. You know, it doesn't matter the size of you, but you jump early, and when you're that size and you jump early, it's almost impossible to defend. He does. He gets up so early, just all over. Just doesn't quite get the direction, but that was more like it by New Mexico United. Suddenly there was a little tempo in the way the ball moved from right to left. Early delivery into the box. Got Bojulan isolated at the back post.
So we are seeing the two aforementioned subs, Jacobo Reyes and Greg Hurst, entering the match for New Mexico. Nicky Hernandez and Harry Swartz, their days are done. We're also going to see a couple of subs here from Ben Pierman as well. There's both coaches, Chris, going to their bench, bringing in some offensive firepower. We're going to see Augustine Williams and Arturo Rodriguez entering here for Charleston. Thomas has to come out to grab that one as Williams wasted no time getting involved. Augustine Williams, the 26-year-old out of Sierra Leone. 2 caps for the Sierra Leone national team. Found the back of the net 10 times this season for Battery. It's the only Battery player in double digits. Also led Battery in scoring last season, finding the back of the net 16 times in 32 appearances. So averaging a goal every 2 matches. Prior to that, spent some time in MLS with LA Galaxy, had 7 appearances, and bounced around USL Championship as well with Los Dos, Loyal, Timbers 2. It's the Colombian Palma. Challenge comes in from Greg Hurst, and on his first challenge, Greg Hurst goes into the referee's book.
That's disappointing. Greg Hurst wins the ball to start off with. And you could see New Mexico United, they were just waiting until Charleston Battery, the line of confrontation. It was a little high. I'd say, okay, I can see that now. Benefit of replay. Maybe left his studs just a little high there down his shin, so yeah, fair play. But you can see that the line of confrontation for New Mexico United was allowing Charleston Battery to have the ball in their own half. As soon as they crossed the halfway line, that's when they started to engage. And New Mexico United done a good job of setting the trap there, and Hurst just needed to get that tackle right, and unfortunately it was just a little high, and you don't know if a little bit was that, because of the area of the field that they're on there. You can see the difference in turf, and that's why he was adjusting to it.
Off the free kick, a dangerous ball going towards the back post. It's going to be a Bank of America corner kick coming up here for Charleston.
That was a wicked ball in, absolutely vital touch. Was that Suggs at the back post, I think it was, who had to get a touch, as it was, it had eyes for the back of the net.
Seymour looked to be a little shaken up. Looks to be all right. He's doing a little bit of stretching there before getting back up to his feet.
That is the worrying thing, because you saw Harry Swartz, he was down a couple of times before he went off. You hope that he hasn't picked up an injury as well.
This one goes in. It was Booth who got initial contact to it. Either way, it'll be a goal kick here for Andrew Thomas. Looking to play Moreno quickly. Thomas, he's got a boot on him.
I tell you what, that was on as well. You can see that's twice now he's tried to spring Moreno early, and Moreno kind of gave up on it a little bit early there, and there was a little bit of hesitation between Muse, the goalkeeper. I think it was that Allen as well, running back all the way from midfield. Greg Hurst got that tackle right, that's for sure.
Hurst, he's got to be careful. And that's got to be so tough. And Chris, just talk about what that does to your mentality. When you come on as a sub, the very first player involved in, you get a yellow card. It's Augustine Williams battling with Colonna. And a yellow card is going to be shown. Kyle Colonna now going into the referee's book.
I know from our angle we could see Williams had a good old handful of Colonna's jersey as well. 6 and 2 threes, both had it. For some reason the referee is giving it in the direction there. It was really interesting, but yeah, we're seeing that tackle back again, and you could see it was definitely high there. But look, there. Yeah, Colonna's got a good handful. Williams had a good handful right before that point as well.
So Kyle Colonna,
it's getting a little scrappy.
He joins Greg Hurst, Kalen Ryden, and the now subbed off Harry Swartz in the officials' book. Just one yellow card for Charleston. Yellow card going to Tristan Traeger in the 36th minute. And this, a dangerous free kick here for the Battery. It's Rodriguez standing over this one. Rodriguez whips it in, and that was not far off.
Wow, I think it was Dodson. Ran across the ball and got the faintest of touches. If he gets a slightly more convincing touch on that, that is flying into the back of the net. So much pace on the cross. You see just running across the ball, all the pace. All you have to do is hit it. You see the faintest of touches there. Yeah, it was Dodson as well, and dodged the bullet there. Rodriguez, absolute vicious cross. So much pace, like I say, that could have gone off a defender. Anyone, it would have flown in the back of the net.
Good opportunity there for Charleston Battery. We're still scoreless here. 68 minutes gone by at the Lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here on hand. This is the fourth home match in 11 days for New Mexico United. Wednesday, Saturday. Run of games here. It started off with Oakland Roots last Wednesday. It was a victory for the visitors, but New Mexico rebounding on the weekend, beating FC Tulsa. And as we've covered earlier in the broadcast, a 6-goal shootout with Las Vegas Lights on Wednesday, all leading up, I should say, to this showdown here with Charleston Battery.
You can see Williams is trying to match up against Kelowna. He's staying away from Kalen Ryden, the more experienced of the two defenders, and Kelowna being on the yellow card as well. And you can see how much pace and power he has. Give me a handful for the rest of the game.
Hurst looking for Moreno here on the through ball. Moreno has Hurst making the run. Moreno cuts it back. Was looking to play Jacobo Reyes there. And Portillo will be shown a yellow card for the shirt grab.
That was definitely a yellow card. He just about ripped the shirt off his back there, Portillo. I think he was more disappointed in his first touch. His first touch forced him into a tackle, a touch and tackle there. You can see that first touch. He didn't even really touch the ball there, but yeah, there was no hide in that one.
So Justin Portillo goes into the referee's book here, 69th minute. That yellow card brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. For Justin Portillo, he's got to be careful. 7 yellows so far on the season for Portillo. Already got Rivas out tonight due to yellow card accumulation. 8 yellows for Sergio Rivas. Here in the 70th minute of this match, it's brought to you by REDW, an Albuquerque-based CPA firm celebrating 70 years of keeping New Mexico moving forward.
Great tackle by Josh Suggs there. Just read the ball, read the through ball and knocks it to Moreno. Moreno just doesn't connect that first pass. It's really hard to... any of my boys who I coach are watching right now, they know what I'm going to say. It's all so important once you win the ball in transition. Connect that first pass, allows your team to get into some kind of playing shape, and just give it away so quickly. It's impossible to get any kind of momentum right now for New Mexico.
20 minutes plus stoppage remains here at the Lab. As Traeger goes down, the official lets everyone know he's keeping track of how much time is going off the clock here. Traeger will require some assistance here. It's Bobby Weisenberger, the head athletic trainer for Charleston Battery. So this gives a little bit of a break here as you can see Schneider Borgelin just down at the touchline having a conversation with Eric Quill. Looks like Reedy is getting ready to check in here for Charleston. It's Pierre Reedy entering the match. He's going to replace Tristan Traeger. Pierre Reedy spent last season with Scottish side Dundee FC. Midfielder featured in 4 matches for Dundee. Won the Scottish Championship, secured a promotion to the Scottish Premiership as well. Prior to heading over to Scotland, Reedy played for Real Salt Lake and Real Monarchs. His MLS debut back in April 2022 against Colorado Rapids.
Alan's really lucky to escape a yellow card there with how many have been handed out already tonight, especially at New Mexico United there, and he knew exactly what he was doing. Borgelin turned the corner, really strong, really powerful, turned the corner, and Alan just chipped him down and stopped the attack, and that letter of law, that should have been a yellow card.
Moreno gets into the box, shot deflected. And all Armando Moreno needs is just a fraction of space.
That's why he's still on the field. You know, it's been a frustrating night. I think he would admit that as well. Chances have been few and far between for him, but he just needs that one sight of goal, and he can make something magic happen.
Get another look on this TLC replay here. Corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. It's Justin Portillo to deliver. Scored 8 times in 34 appearances last season, did Justin Portillo. Keeps this one in, punched away by Muse. Great goalkeeping there from Trey Muse. Charleston looking to counter. Plenty of options here for Rodriguez. Chooses Dodson. There's Reedy now. Reedy run off the ball by Reyes, and Jacobo Reyes called for the foul. First foul on Jacobo Reyes here tonight. Second half substitute. Look at this one here. Dangerous spot for a free kick here. Charleston, and the last time, Chris, they were in a similar position. Just needed one touch from Dodson, as you mentioned.
Yeah, it's a little more central than the last one, so you've got to imagine, you can see there's 3 in the wall this time for New Mexico United. You've got to imagine he might go for goal because it's a difficult angle to get across, but wait and see if he puts the same pace on it.
Back post, headed in. Second header, and it finds the back of the net off the deflection. And it's Augustine Williams celebrating. And if he scored, that's his 11th goal of the season. And Charleston have gone up with just 15 minutes left here.
Yeah, he definitely got the last touch. He was just lurking around inside the 6-yard box in front of Thomas. Didn't see who got the first contact, but he definitely flicked it on, and nothing Thomas could do with the change in direction at the last minute.
Augustine Williams, the second half substitute for the visitors, comes on and says, "I'll be the difference maker." As we get another look here on this TLC replay, the initial header headed back by Archer. From there, New Mexico unable to keep that one out of the back of the net.
Yeah, it's Marcanic, isn't it? He gets that. He gets his Marcanic right there. He gets it, and it might even be going in already. And Williams just makes sure. He just keeps it underneath the crossbar as well. Like I say, nothing Thomas could do at that point.
So Charleston opens up this scoring here at the Lab. And New Mexico playing from behind here in the last 15 minutes once again. Foul called, and Williams, right after scoring, he's going to go back into the referee's book, this time for a yellow card.
Kelowna, I think he saw him coming, so was able to, kind of jump. There was not like his studs were stuck in the ground, but he was just a little late, Williams. And I say the way that this game's gone, there's no surprise there's a yellow card there for him.
Fiesta Auto free kick here for New Mexico. Thomas has to come out. Sweeps this one away in front of Kyle Kelowna. Right in looking for Borgelin, and Schneider Borgelin is going to see yellow for that challenge.
One of the first booking, it was Harry Swartz, and I said that you might be busy with that tonight. And here we are.
By my count, that is the 7th yellow card that has been issued tonight. The guys at Ferguson Law Firm getting their money's worth for their yellow card sponsorship here tonight. Schneider Borgelin goes into the book, 77th minute. And the yellow cards all over the pitch for New Mexico United right now, Chris. Borgelin, Hurst, Portillo, Ryden, Colonna. All got to be careful here going down the stretch. Koenig has that one intercepted by Kyle Colonna. Offloads it to Seymour. Suggs asking for it. He'll get it. Moreno now. Moreno unable to hang on to that one. Looking for the run of Reedy, and Zico Bailey up to the task. Throw in here for Crawford. Pokes this forward for Reedy. It's Reyes coming back to make the defensive play. Charleston probing, looking for a second. 11 minutes plus stoppage time left here at this one. All bouncing around here and eventually dealt with by Portillo. Fans can't watch the match? Turn on it. SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access. That's on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more. Tune in to SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app. Rodriguez does very well there. Charleston retained possession.
Charleston doing a really good job here, just taking the sting out of the game, just keeping the ball. Got something to hang on to now as well. 80th minute, got their noses in front, and just rather than maybe going for the second, they're just killing the game off, making New Mexico United have to work, have to press. You see they're pressing a little higher now, New Mexico, beyond the halfway line. Open up some space behind them.
This one falls to Mark Koenig, gets a touch, and Thomas comes out to grab that one. It's been all Charleston battery over the last 15 minutes, Chris. Over 70% of the possession, obviously finding the back of the net during that time frame as well.
Yeah, and there's another misplaced pass. That was Zico Bailey this time, drifting into midfield and trying to play a diagonal, but United just haven't had an answer for how to create really good open play chances. With Charleston, just like I said at halftime, they've just been able to keep them at arm's length the whole time.
We're anticipating a crowd of near 10,000, 9,034 on hand here at the Lab. Attendance brought to you by New Mexico Mutual. Another strong showing here for the black and yellow faithful. Unfortunately for them, it looks like the other black and yellow may be walking out of here with all 3 points tonight. 10 minutes plus stoppage remain.
I'm actually a little surprised we haven't seen another change. Maybe Daniel Bruce, just as much as anything, would get the crowd back into the game as well. You know, he always brings a little level of excitement from the crowd as well. Well, heading into the 82nd minute here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that very soon, though.
And if you look down at the New Mexico United subs, there is Daniel Bruce warming up. Borgelin takes the flick. Moreno goes back to Hurst, and Greg Hurst sends it wide. Huge opportunity for the Scotsman.
Best chance of the night for New Mexico United there. Very unselfish there by Armando Moreno. He could have took the chance on himself. Decides to square it. Greg Hurst wide open. 5 yards out. Puts the ball wide. Doesn't even make a save. It's a huge opportunity for New Mexico United. That's gone begging.
Greg Hurst can see it, looking to add on his 3rd goal of the season for New Mexico, and just sending that wide.
Great leap by Borgelin there, and great awareness by Moreno to just, on his first touch, set it back. You see Moreno, he sees the net move. He thinks it's actually gone in. He's on his way off to celebrate with Hurst, but sees it hit the advertising behind.
Substitution there for Battery. We see AJ Cochran replacing Nick Markanek. Here's Williams. As Thomas lets that one run out as Reedy was giving chase. Kalen Ryden able to find Reyes, but the offside flag goes up.
That looked close. That looked really close. I think it was just a hair offside there, but the run from Reyes wasn't tracked well by Battery as well, so they might have dodged a bullet there. Hard to see from that angle, but that touch, music come off his line as well. I was just waiting for Reyes to just lift it over him. You can see there's a little bit of urgency in New Mexico United's play, something that's maybe been lacking the rest of the game, looking to play forwards a little sooner, making it a little more uncomfortable for Battery.
Jacobo Reyes still in search of his 1st goal for New Mexico United. You look around, you see Isaac Zuleta. He's really the only one of the new signings that have scored here for Eric Quill, and Zuleta's goal came against Sunderland in the international friendly. So Borgelin, Jacobo Reyes, neither of them able to score a goal yet for their new club. Obviously, Zico Bailey picked up the assist in the match last Saturday. Moreno playing this forward for Suggs. Cross comes in from Suggs, back post, headed out. It's going to be a corner kick for New Mexico.
Hernandez has scored. He's one of the new signings that's come in since Eric Quill's taken over as well, and he's obviously made an impact attacking-wise off the pitch now, but he's assisting his very first, well, it might have been his first touch, first couple of touches, that's for sure, against El Paso.
Yeah, Nicky Hernandez was on for every bit of 2 minutes before he assisted Santi Moar's game-winning goal down at Southwest University Park back on the 1st of July, which to New Mexico fans seems like an age ago. Falls to Bailey, and he sends this one over the crossbar.
First touch just popped up, it popped off the ground, popped up a little, always leaning back, couldn't really step onto it, so it was always rising there for Zico Bailey.
You mentioned Nicky Hernandez, a couple of goals for the Black and Yellow since joining back in the middle of June. Or excuse me, joining towards the end of June, I guess. Trey Muse just watching the time tick on. He is in no hurry whatsoever. Ryden winning back-to-back headers there. They don't call him the golden helmet for nothing there, Chris.
That was great stuff by Kalen Ryden. Committed, even though he's on his yellow card as well, so has to be careful, but really committed stuff from the centre-back there.
It's Archer clearing that one away from Jacobo Reyes. New Mexico searching for an equalizer here late. Can they do it again? It was an 89th minute equalizer during the midweek against Las Vegas Lights by way of Will Seymour, his first goal of the campaign. Free kick comes in, right in at the back post, and Trey Muse had that one covered. 87th minute. If the current result holds here, Chris, New Mexico will have claimed 4 points from their 4-game homestand.
Yeah, that's certainly not going into those 4 games. We talked about it on air in the first game as well. Just that's not what they're looking for, especially when you're on the outside of the playoff hunt looking in. They need something special to happen over the next few games, and as you said at halftime, the schedule is not getting any easier for them.
Josh Suggs able to win the free kick here, and this could be the lifeline that New Mexico needed. 88th minute. We have a look on this TLC replay. The veteran Josh Suggs going to ground. 108th appearance in the USL Championship for New Mexico United. Over 250 professional appearances in his career. Portillo standing over this one. Is there another late equalizer in the cards here for New Mexico? Back post goes Portillo, and it's going to be another corner kick. Bank of America corner kick coming up here. To the 89th minute. This was the minute that they equalized in the midweek tie against Las Vegas Lights. Portillo sends this one in. Redirected but off frame.
You see all of the set pieces though for New Mexico United. It's Portillo slinging the ball into the box, and hopefully one of the tall guys gets on the end of it. It's been a little too easy, I would say, for Charleston Battery to defend those.
Trey Muse will stick a boot through it. Something's got to happen soon here for New Mexico. Approaching the 90th minute. Moreno directing traffic. Portillo now looks to switch the play to Suggs instead. Connects with, I believe that was Rodriguez. Great interception there by Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets by Suggs, and Josh Suggs commits the foul. He's going to see yellow as well. So a 90th minute yellow card to Josh Suggs. 7th yellow card shown to New Mexico United tonight.
It was a yellow card. I'd still go back to that one with Allen earlier on, which was exactly the same. He stopped an attack and a very cynical foul and wasn't yellow carded. That would be my argument if I was of a New Mexico United persuasion.
Fair enough. Here's Rodriguez. He has space. Instead, that pass cut out there by Seymour. He was looking to find the run of Reedy going into the 18. Into stoppage time we go. 3 minutes of New Mexico Piñon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. Here's Bailey. Looking for Moreno. The offside flag stays down. Suggs now lifts one into the box. Back post. Borgelin. And Borgelin called for the foul.
And this has been Borgelin's most impressive game for New Mexico United. The first couple, he's been struggled to use what he's good at. And tonight, I think New Mexico United fans have actually seen it. He is very, very strong, very powerful in the air. And New Mexico United are playing it again. He just gets up nice and early. I don't see a foul there, but I understand why it's given. Again, because he's just so awkward to play against. I think there's a player there that they can use the rest of the season where he can cause all of these East Coast teams that New Mexico United are going to be playing. They'll not want to play against Borgelin. He's such an awkward player to play against.
Well, and I think for Schneider Borgelin, he came in, he was match ready, but the thing that you had to take into account was the altitude difference. Coming from Miami, Florida, not anything official, but likely below sea level, to here in Albuquerque, where you're playing at a mile high in elevation.
It is, and it's a huge difference. Like, it can't be understated. I'm sure the Charleston players are feeling it right now in their 90th plus minute.
Portland goes down. It's going to be a free kick here for New Mexico. Portillo takes it quickly. Almost 2 minutes of the 3 allotted stoppage time minutes gone by. Ryden looking for Hurst. Headed away. So New Mexico will send everything forward here. Time dwindling down here for New Mexico United. Charleston looks to pick up their first win against the black and yellow from the Western Conference here tonight. It looks like they're well on their way to doing so, Chris.
Yeah, Mew's about to get his 10th clean sheet of the season as well, and that was great goalkeeping. Just takes all the pressure off his back line there by coming to claim what could have been a really dangerous cross. Just gives his back four a chance to just step up and get out and get higher up the pitch.
Full-time whistle here at the Lab, and it's a 10th clean sheet for Trey Muse, and it's a massive win for Charleston Battery as Andrew Thomas making his first career start here for New Mexico United. He's going to take home the honors for the Man of the Match, brought to you by Pepsi. He's also going to be dubbed our Play of the Match, and he also had our Save of the Match, brought to you by Invigorate Roofing. Chris, let's get your thoughts on this one.
I think for this guy, Thomas, it was a great debut for him. I think we saw exactly what he brings to the table. Quick off his line, play like sweeper keeper, but New Mexico United, it just final third. They just couldn't find the key to break down a really stout Charleston Battery defense.
Charleston Battery come in having amassed the most points on the road in the championship this season. They'll walk out of the Lab with 3 more after this one tonight. Your Duke City Cares final score, Charleston Battery 1, New Mexico United 0. We're going to take a break. We'll be back to put a bow on it right here on ESPN+.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Full time here at the Lab. Charleston Battery victorious over New Mexico United for the first time in club history. Chris, let's have a look at our full-time highlights here tonight, brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. 1 goal in this one, but as we like to say, not short on action. As we start off here, Andrew Thomas called into action early.
Yeah, he made a good impression on his first start for New Mexico United. And this was what Charleston Battery were doing all night against New Mexico United, just getting that ball in behind, and he was quick off his line to snuff out the danger. And New Mexico United were a bunch of chances like this, unfortunately, where it was what could have been, I think, for New Mexico United there. It was just a difficult angle for Portillo to deliver across, and Kalen Ryden did everything he possibly could to get that on target. Charleston Battery had the better of the chances. That was another free kick, really dangerous. Rodriguez put so much pace on it. I think it was Dodson who just got the slightest of touch on it, and it just wasn't quite enough to take it beyond Thomas. And this one's the goal, where first contact at the back post, sends it back in, And then it's Markovic there, and a little touch by Williams, who's just right in front of Thomas. You can see the amount of traffic right there where Thomas has absolutely no chance, unfortunately. And that was the difference in the game right there. That was the goal that won it.
75th minute, 11th goal of the season for Augustine Williams. He is the leading scorer for the Battery as they continue to roll right along. Let's have a look at our full-time stats, brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. New Mexico with the edge in shots on target. Battery with the edge in goals.
Yeah, a little more of the ball in the second half for New Mexico United, but Charleston Battery, you have to say, they controlled the game today. They came into New Mexico and they controlled it. They controlled the tempo of the game. They had the best chances, and you got to say they probably deserved all 3 points heading out the door.
Charleston headed back home to Patriots Point. They'll be hosting San Diego Loyal next weekend. New Mexico with a trip out to Birmingham coming up. And so, Chris, that does it for our 4-game homestand over the last 11 days. 4 points out of the 4 matches for New Mexico as they look to keep pace here in the Western Conference playoff race. That's going to do it for all of us tonight here. For everybody part of our broadcast, for our director Gary Williams, Chris Hurst on color, my name is Tyler Ortega. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.